Hi, everyone. Before we get started, I just want to let you know that our 1-year anniversary episode 53, is coming up soon. We want you to be part of the episode because you allowed it to be possible. So we have a survey currently posted. The link is in our show notes. It's also in the bio of all our social medias. And you can click on that survey link and give input on what you want to hear on our 53rd episode. You can vote on a lesson topic, all of which have been suggested by listeners. And you can also write in any questions you might have or anything you want us to share on the air. So please check that out. We want to hear from you guys and enjoy the show. I'm Kat.
I'm Hayley.
And this is Night Classy, the podcast where two teachers unwind, sip wine, and each teach a lesson we can't teach at school. What are we drinking, Hayley?
We are, sorry I interrupted you. We are drinking 19 Crimes, their 2019 red wine edition. And it is really good. I'm a big fan of 19 Crimes. We did a lesson. Well, I did a lesson on it. You were there. You participated.
I heard it.
Episode 5, but it's really cool. It has a cool backstory. But the actual taste of the wine is really good. I feel like it's not too heavy. I don't know. It's red wine. It's great. And of course, with our partnership with High Point Grocery here in Memphis, it's been even better because we have our wines already picked out for us. So this bottle here we got is $9.99. And, you know, I wish we would have done this before we started recording because 19 Crimes has that app where you can scan it and it'll start talking to you.
Yeah.
And the prisoner or convict on the front of it will tell you what their crime was.
Yeah, we should have done that. Too late. But it says on the back, though, too, right?
No, it doesn't. It just gives like the kind of background of the wine line. I don't know. This guy looks a little confused.
Yeah, he looks
kind of mad.
Yeah, he looks like a bully in an 80s movie.
Yeah, he does. Really short, buzzed hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of blocky.
Yeah. I don't know what he did, but it was one or more of the 19 crimes that could get you sent to Australia.
Yeah. But yeah, I agree. This wine is good. It's like nice and light and kind of sweet. Perfect for this freaking weather we're having out of nowhere. It's summertime after we just had a snowpocalypse. And if you're in the Memphis area, you know what I'm talking about. And you should also head over to High Point Grocery that is at 469 High Point Terrace and pick yourself up a bottle of this wine.
Yeah, seriously. Shout out to High Point because they have stayed open during the day during this blizzard. It seems we've had.
It felt like a blizzard.
Right. The whole city of Memphis shut down for a week. I mean, we did get a lot of snow.
Yeah.
Like, they haven't had this much snow in Memphis.
And it was like negative degrees and piles of snow.
Very cold. And every day High Point was like, we're open till 4. We've got your back.
Yeah. So shout out to them and shout out to us for surviving the snowstorm.
I know. We haven't seen each other in literally a week.
Yeah. Hayley was snowed in at Tommy's and I was snowed in at our house. And it was like a true Romeo and Juliet tale. We couldn't see each other. We were kept apart.
Our hearts longed for each other.
Yes, and our cat's hearts longed for each other as well.
Oh my gosh. I already told Kat this, but she sent me a text that had the word ghost in it. Like she's talking about Ghost the cat. And I read it out loud to Tommy and Safety, my cat, like perked up and he like meowed. He's like, meow? Like Ghost?
Yeah, they missed each other.
They definitely did.
Ghost was acting so weird. Like he wouldn't leave me alone. There was one morning where I just like laid in bed for a really long time and he laid in bed with me for like 5 hours, which he never does, like laying on me.
That is weird.
He never does that.
He missed his son.
He did. He really did. But we're back together now because there was literally like 2 feet, not 2 feet. There was like a foot of snow yesterday. And then today it was like this beautiful sunny spring day and it's all gone.
Yeah.
All of it.
We flipped the switch. We're here now.
Yeah.
We're recording a couple days later than we usually do because of the snow.
Yeah.
Literally everything got shut down. Like nothing was plowed for days.
Right. They didn't like have enough plows and ice. So we were literally stuck. There was a moment there where Alec and I tried to get out of our driveway to go rescue supplies from the office so we could record, and it just wasn't happening. Like I couldn't even get my car out of the driveway. My car has 4-wheel drive and I was like stuck.
Yeah, because before it snowed, it iced everything
Yeah.
over. So it was just like a triple threat. Freezing temperatures. We're under a water boil advisory.
Oh my God. Yeah, I forgot about that. We have to boil all our water because so many pipes burst.
I feel like a pioneer woman. Like we have this huge pot on the stove full of boiled water and you like take a cup to get whatever you want to drink.
Truly, there's a whole system, and we can't wash our dishes because it's like technically unsafe to wash your dishes.
You can wash your dishes.
You can?
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, you
thought
can wash your
couldn't.
body in it.
Yeah, your body, but I didn't know about your dishes because you have to eat off of it.
Oh, I thought you could wash your dishes.
We haven't.
I've been doing it. I know.
They've been
I was
piling up.
shocked, literally. That it's piling up.
It is shocking. We've been like hand washing them, but then putting them back, like so they don't smell, but then putting them back in the sink because we're not ready to eat off of them. And we're running out of forks. So
You sound like a crazy hoarder person.
no, I don't. It's not our fault.
I know it's not your fault, but I'm saying this sounds like something we could have, like a crazy hoarder person. Okay, crazy is not the right term. Let me step back and say that like hoarding is a real mental situation and I don't want to offend anyone.
Yeah, not crazy, but definitely not great. Yeah, I don't know. It's not a great situation for anybody, but we're doing this not on our own volition. There's a mandate in place. I'm not trying to get like a brain eating meningitis, so
Yeah, literally the day after we got it, I woke up with a headache and I was like, oh, I think I have a brain eating bacteria in my head. My head hurts so bad. But then I was like, oh, wait, I just haven't been drinking water. Right. I'm scared.
Us too. We walked to Walgreens because that's all we could do. And they were all out of water, all out of like cases of soda. Like we thought maybe we could get like a case of sparkling water. There was none of that. The only thing they had left were these weird Gatorades that are like, they have like extra vitamins and electrolytes or something. They're in like a gray bottle. And so we bought like 20 of those.
And now your pee is gray.
And now we've drank all of them. And now I'm back to being dehydrated.
It's painful, truly.
Yeah, it's been a big bummer, but we have not run out of wine and beer. Shout out to freaking Bluff City Smugglers, our alcohol delivery service in town, because they were delivering during the snowstorm. I ordered from them multiple times. So they're the real heroes in this situation.
Definitely. Thank you, Bluff City.
Thank you. Uber Eats wasn't even going, but they were. They are out there.
Not all heroes wear capes.
Truly. So thank you all. But yeah, I feel like I've just been staring at a wall for a week because it felt like a double quarantine. Not only were we quarantined, but like it was so cold we couldn't leave the house.
That's what they should have done. If the government can actually control the weather, as soon as COVID hit, they should have given they should have made sure everyone had access to water, but everything should have been frozen in so that people actually stayed in their house.
Right. Yeah. They should have just like wet down everybody's house and then put like a bunch of air conditioners outside to freeze their doors shut.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, that's the platform I'm going to run for mayor on.
Here's what I would have done in this terrible situation.
Yeah, definitely. But so yeah, it's been crazy but we're getting our vaccine. You already got a vaccine. I'm scheduled to get one on Friday, so things are looking up in that regard.
It's so exciting. It really feels like this is starting to turn a corner with COVID. Obviously, it's going to be a long time before the, majority of the population is vaccinated, but it feels like this is a good start. It's like there's a glimmer of hope. I can see myself in a bar one day in the future.
Someday. Yes. Oh my God, I can't wait. I've really enjoyed quarantine selfishly because I don't really like socializing or going out. And like this week, it started to hit me where I craved going out to a bar and talking to new people. It's like, I'm ready.
That's crazy.
I've had my break. I'm ready to be back at it.
All it took was a year.
I know. I want to talk to a weird, borderline inappropriate Uber driver. I want to talk to a crazy old lady who's at the bar telling me about aliens.
I want to buy someone pizza.
Yes. All good things. Can't wait.
Add it to the bucket list.
Yeah. So yeah, but we did plan one little excursion and we're not ready to talk about it yet, but it's very, very exciting.
It is. Oh my God. It's COVID safe, so don't worry. But wow. Wow. I can't wait to tell about it.
We're going on a really cool road trip. I can't wait. Over spring break, which is in a month. We'll tell you guys about it later. I won't tell. We do have other exciting things, though, in the works. We just ordered a new batch of stickers. We have a new design that we're really excited about. We'll tell you guys about it once they get here. They'll be on our website. We also ordered a special surprise for our Patreons who are with us as of our 1-year episode, which will be episode 53. So get on our Patreon now if you want to be part of the special present surprise.
Right. Who doesn't like surprises?
Yeah.
At least, I mean, this isn't going to be like a bunch of people showing up at your house unexpectedly. Like, it's going to be a nice, low-key surprise.
Yeah. Low-key surprise. You can open it on your own terms. Nobody's ambushing you and everybody gets it. And it's a good surprise. And you can be donating at any level, even $1 a month, like you'll still get the special surprise. So we're excited to share that with you guys when it gets here. We're almost to this is our 50th episode, by the way. I forgot until just now.
Yep, we're getting in there. So go over to Patreon. You get a surprise. You get a surprise. You all get a surprise.
Everybody gets a surprise. And happy freaking 50th. We're halfway to 100.
Oh my gosh. Can you imagine if we were like 50 years old? If this was real time.
Why would you say that?
I don't know. The number 50 just made me think of the age 50. It's crazy.
What if we just only started, what the hell? I'm being invited to a Microsoft Teams meeting by my lead teacher. That must be a mistake. Should I answer on this podcast?
That would be really funny. Also, that sound is triggering me.
I know.
The sound of it.
Yeah. Sorry about that intermission. That sound was kind of triggering.
Definitely. Like, my brain is used to it during the day, but not at 6 p.m.
No, I'm not about to be ambushed by that today. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I had to make sure I was on Do Not Disturb too. You got me all paranoid now.
Well, my computer was the one that did it.
Right.
Yeah, I missed it. I wonder, I didn't get a chance to read all the texts, so sorry. Yeah. Maybe, hopefully there's not an emergency. Hopefully I don't have to deal with the emergency at 8 p.m. drunk when we get done recording.
We'll see what happens. Stay tuned, everybody.
A teacher's job is never done.
Not all heroes wear capes.
That's right.
Not all heroes answer phones.
I do not. My contract hours end at 3:15. No, that's true, but not true. All right. Well, anyway,
speaking of Patreon, yeah. Our latest episode coming out for February. I am so excited for this. So, like, okay, first of all, for one of the first times ever in my life, I was not a major procrastinator, and this episode has been waiting for a little bit.
Are you
now.
announcing
what
your episode? Are you starting?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry
about the February Patreon.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I thought you were starting your lesson. I was like, wait, God, we still have stuff to say.
Do you need to reset?
No, I like being angry. Go.
Okay, I'm going. Anyway, so we had one of my best friends, Alex Tron Johnson, come onto the podcast and teach a special Patreon lesson. So obviously it was an amazing time having her on the podcast, but the lesson was really great too. So she is about to graduate with her master's in choral directing, and she's like a freaking musical genius. It's the best. And she came in and taught us things all about singing and choir, and it's stuff that I would have never even thought about. So if it's stuff that you may have never even thought about or stuff that you want to know about from somebody who does it really well and is going to be a teacher, you should head on over to Patreon. If not for the surprises, then definitely for the extra content.
Yeah, so shout out Alex. It was really fun having her. Yeah, the substitute episodes are so cool because I feel like sometimes you and I get in kind of like a loop where we have these interests and sometimes don't step out of them. But our substitute teachers, it's totally new. And I would never, ever, ever in 1,100 million years think to do a lesson on choral directing. So
me either, especially because it's like we have things not only that we're interested in, but things that we know that we're good at, things that we're comfortable with. Yeah, and choral directing is not
that's not it.
One of them.
No.
So we bring in the professionals for our lovely patrons.
Yes. So head on over to Patreon, check out that episode. It'll be dropping by the time this comes out in the next few days within February. And one more thing. Wow. We just love to harp on the Patreon. Thank you guys who are not patrons who sit and listen to all of this. I want to shout out our newest Patreon, Richard Liu of San Francisco, California. So he is now a teacher's pet and we love him very much. We are glad to have him in our family. And I asked him if there was anything he wanted us to share in our shout out. And let me just read this to you. He said, "Rest in hammy heaven to my daughter's hamster who passed and she doesn't know yet.
What?
Should I tell her or replace Hammy with another one and see how long before she notices? My daughter is 8. Let me know. Thanks."
What if you just played this episode for her?
Yeah, Richard, do you want us to tell your daughter her hamster died? Because you should definitely tell her it's dead. Don't get a new one.
Yeah, lying is never a good idea.
Yeah, do not lie to her. That's not great.
Yeah, death is a part of life. Like, we should start to get more comfortable, I think, with talking about it. And, you know, it's a lot easier to talk about a hamster dying than like maybe a loved one dying. So it's going to be a tough conversation, but rest in hammy heaven.
Yeah. Hopefully he's told her by now because he sent me this message like over a week ago.
Oh my God. I have a really dark hamster dying story.
I feel like everyone has been traumatized by a hamster at some point with like stepping on it. Is that what your story is?
No, I didn't step on it. I literally, we had to move the hamsters from our playroom because it got turned into an office down to the basement. And this is so bad. I forgot about my hamster.
Oh no.
And then when I went down to check on it, I like touched it and it looked like it was sleeping, but it was like hard as a rock.
You just forgot about it and it died?
Yeah, I just forgot. Like
out of
sight, out of mind.
Terrible.
I know. I was in like 2nd or 3rd grade. So it's like,
that's pretty bad.
It's pretty bad.
So Hayley is an animal abuser. If you didn't catch on the
accidental abuse.
No, I think it was on purpose. I think that's a telltale sign of a future serial killer and we should all be scared.
Well, let me follow it up with a different terrible story.
Okay, good.
So my stepsister had this dwarf hamster and it like escaped from its cage. It crawled between the bars or something and we couldn't find it for days. And then one time, like, I don't even remember how much longer after it had escaped. Like, she had already gotten new hamsters. She was rearranging her room or something and pulled the dresser out and plop is the little dwarf hamster.
Oh my God.
Stuck.
You just had a hamster house of horrors in your house, didn't you? Wouldn't want to be a hamster.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. So rest in peace to all the hamsters.
That is bad.
There.
That's one reason, like, I mean, I say this now, I don't know for sure, but I will never get my hypothetical future children like a cage pet. Like dogs and cats only. Because I never had a hamster, but I had hermit crabs. And I loved my hermit crabs. I'd play with them all the time, but so they die and it's just gross. And my hermit crabs got like mites on them and
Ew.
we had to like treat them for mites and it was like disgusting. Like it was like having like a cage full of fleas in my room.
That's just way more maintenance than you ever would have thought. Like buying a fucking hermit crab.
Yeah, it's a fucking hermit crab. They don't do anything. I mean, they were really cool, but it's just gross. And like one time what they do is they molt. So like every once in a while they'll like shed their outer skeleton and then they eat it and grow a new one, but like you never really know when they're shedding it. And so one time I picked up a hermit crab and it was a really big one, like he was huge, and I picked him up and his body like fell out of his shell, like the whole thing, because when they molt it's like their whole body, and I didn't realize that was just his skeleton. I thought it was him. And so I was like, oh my God. And then I realized it was just his skeleton, but that didn't make it any less gross. And then once that happens, they can't keep eating their skeleton. So he just like died because I picked him up and his skeleton fell out and then he couldn't eat it anymore. And he was just like a little pink naked thing. And
like
then,
Mr. Krabs without his shell.
He was just like Mr. Krabs. It's just traumatizing. I feel like there's no way to have a caged pet without being traumatized by it at some point.
It's a rite of passage,
It
really.
is, yeah.
So I think you should get your hypothetical future children cage pets.
I don't know if that's a rite of passage they need.
And then one day you can write into a podcast when they die and be like, should I tell them or should I?
Oh my God. I would be telling them because I would not be getting them a new hamster.
Right. We're
they
done
got
with
that
this.
first one by mistake. We're not getting another one. Wouldn't you rather have a dog?
What about a snake? We wanted to get a snake.
That's true. A snake would be pretty cool.
But I guess it's not a cage. It's an aquarium.
Yeah. Yeah. I
What
feel
is
like
it
snakes
called?
and lizards, like a terrarium.
Terrarium, yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know, but I feel like I would also be traumatized by a snake because you have to feed them mice.
Yeah, that would be pretty rough.
That's the bad part.
You're right.
And if you have a lizard, you feed it crickets, then sometimes the crickets get out and then your house is infested with crickets
Oh my
chirping
God,
all the time.
that would drive me crazy.
Yeah. It's just not a great, don't do it.
Just have a cat.
Yeah, just have
Cats
a cat.
are the best domesticated pet.
They really are. They're so easy.
You can't convince me otherwise.
Yeah.
They're the easiest
Team cat.
all the way.
Yeah.
And I used to not like cats, but the truth is I didn't know cats.
Don't knock it till you try it.
Yes, ma'am. All right. What else?
I don't have anything else. Do you?
No.
All right. Well, we breathalyzed.
Yep. And I am going first. I blew a .09 or 079.
And I've just been slacking lately. I blew a .011 because I had like half a beer. So I'm going to try to drink a little more.
Yeah. Kick back.
Yeah.
Relax.
It's hard to drink alcohol when you just ate like a giant Burger King meal.
right. Even
I
though
don't
it was
feel good.
it was like burnt and dry. We were still like,
Yeah.
just
Starving enough to eat the burnt. Like we get Impossible Whoppers at Burger King and sometimes they just burn them. This was literally like a burnt dry puck. Like there was nothing left that wasn't dry and burnt. But
Yeah.
guess who fucking ate it anyway? All three of us.
Yep. You know what's bad when the best part of it is the bun. All right, let's get on to the lesson. We have a Patreon pick this week. Megan Hara asked us to talk about the Denver International Airport conspiracy theories. And this is so interesting. I don't know why I've put it off for so long because that's been on my list.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm so glad that you got to do this one then.
Me too. I was worried that it was overdone or that like everyone had heard about it, but
Yeah.
I guess maybe not. I'm not really sure.
I mean, I don't think so. I've definitely heard about it on a podcast before, but like I wasn't paying much attention. Like I don't really know anything. This should be pretty new to me.
Gonna learn today. All right. So Denver Airport, it was opened in February 1995. The old airport was really close to the actual downtown city of Denver, and it was causing a lot of noise pollution, and people were getting tired of it. So they're like, let's build a new airport. So everyone's on board. They built this new airport, and today it's the 5th busiest airport in the U.S. It has over 100 gates with even more planned for the future. And it does not look like your normal airport. Can you picture Denver Airport in your head?
I don't think I've ever been to Denver Airport.
Okay, cool. I have a picture of it for us to reference, but it was designed to look like the Rocky Mountains, snow-capped Rocky Mountains. So you see all of these, it like peaks up and down, up and down, up and down. The roof is made out of like a canvas material.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's all white and it mimics the Rocky Mountains. So
look
it's
at that.
definitely unique. Fun fact, it has 270 pieces of snow removal equipment.
Wow.
Yeah.
Unlike Memphis.
Can you imagine how quickly we could have gotten on with our lives last week?
I can't.
I don't even want to. And it's built on a huge piece of land, but the airport itself is humongous. It is literally twice, not the airport itself, but the land and the airport it's on is twice the size of Manhattan.
Wow.
So it's a big boy.
That sounds like a big boy. I have no idea how large Manhattan is, but I'm guessing big.
Big enough.
Yeah.
Big enough for you to say, wow.
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 And the original estimate to build the airport was almost $3 billion.
That seems cheap.
Does
For an
it?
airport?
I don't know.
Yeah. It may as well be 100 billion. Like once we go past 1 million, I don't really have a concept.
There would be no difference. Exactly. And like any other project, they went over budget and they fell behind schedule, but they went like almost 100% over budget.
Right? Because 3 billion doesn't sound like enough. That doesn't surprise me.
I guess you're right. But I'm like, I don't know what we're talking about here. But apparently it is a lot. They went $2 billion over budget and they fell 16 months behind schedule. Not only that, but it wasn't just like, we're going to open it when we can. But it was like the date kept getting pushed back. So they went like all the way with overspending and pushing back the open date. And this made people's eyebrows raise because they're like, where is all this money going? Like, you're building an airport. Like, you should be within the at least $500 million range for the original estimate, right?
Yeah.
I
it's
don't
all
know.
that white canvas on the roof.
It was
expensive.
Very intricate design. When I was watching YouTube videos doing my research, I watched this like 30-minute video on the Denver airport. And by the time it was done, I was like, oh my God, I didn't learn anything about the conspiracies. I just learned all about like the architecture and the designer.
Right. It's also crazy looking at it that's like a fancy thing because it kind of just looks like a wedding tent, you know?
Yeah, it does.
It's not that cute.
They didn't nail it for what they were going for, in my opinion.
Yeah,
but
they could have at least like painted it to match the mountains.
Yeah, it is ecologically friendly though.
That's good.
Yeah, and they could have painted it, but it only has to, they just have to like wash it with water and a little bit of soap once a year to keep it clean. So I don't know if the paint would have fucked it up.
Yeah, maybe.
Or what would have happened there. But there's actually 2 layers of the canvases in between the actual like roof underneath and everything. But yeah, it's a weird looking little place. And the official story for why it took so long and cost so much money is that they expanded some concourses and that they had a ton of hiccups with their automated baggage system that they had added. The initial baggage system kept shredding and just like eating bags.
What?
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
I guess so, unless you're a conspiracy theorist.
Which I am.
Oh, you're gonna fucking love this.
COVID-19 is a hoax. Just kidding.
Whoa,
just kidding. Just
whoa.
kidding.
Actually,
Just kidding.
Some of this stuff is like kind of QAnon-y, so
okay, great.
bear with us. But none of it is QAnon conspiracy. Like, Denver airport conspiracies came before QAnon.
Yeah,
so.
it's just a little wild. As a good conspiracy theory is.
Yes,
right?
it is. It is quite wild. So let's dig into the actual conspiracy theories. The first one is that lizard people / the elite have a bunker underground underneath the airport.
Cool.
And this is to help them prepare for an apocalypse or to possibly use it as a new world command center. Which sounds kind of crazy. It's like, how do you jump to these conclusions? Like, yeah, it took a bit more money and yeah, it took a little bit longer, but that's a little crazy.
That is quite the jump.
Like the first thing you said is like, it's a little out there. So yeah, lizard people.
AKA the elite.
One and the same. But wait, there's more. In Jeppesen Terminal, there is a capstone in the airport, and it's dedicated to the New World Airport Commission. The problem is the New World Airport Commission does not exist.
As far as we know.
Never has. Yeah, as far as we know. Try Googling it. You're not going to come up with much. Alec, you can go to the next slide and pull up this actual capstone. And the capstone reads, "The time capsule beneath this stone contains messages and memorabilia to the people of Colorado in 2094. Not only does the capstone lend to this, new world order conspiracy, but it also has the Masonic symbol of the compass with a capital G inside.
Yeah, that is pretty weird.
Mm-hmm. And Kat, you took us on a learning journey about the Freemasons. And
it wasn't about the Freemasons. It was about the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, but they have some similarities.
Okay, that's where I got confused.
Yeah.
some similarities there. I forget which episode exactly that was.
That was another Patreon pick.
Oh, well, we should definitely cover it. But here's a little teaser for you. The Freemasons are a real secret fraternal society. They span across the world. They've been around for a very long time, possibly going back to the Middle Ages. And many powerful people in history have been members of the Freemasons, like Benjamin Franklin, Winston Churchill, Buzz Aldrin, Henry Ford. We know him. But anyway, one of the big conspiracies around the Freemasons is that they're always working secretly to make huge decisions for the public and take over the world. So that also goes into this Denver airport conspiracy where it's like, why is the Freemason symbol on this capstone? And why is it dedicated to something that doesn't exist?
I bet the Freemasons just donated a lot of money to have that time capsule put there. And they have a bunch of old men in their club that think it would be cool to call themselves the freaking New World Airport Commission.
Yeah, I mean, none of the official people who paid for the airport doesn't have anything to do with the Freemasons.
Well, they are a secret.
Maybe, yeah. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. But the conspiracy along with this goes that, again, the elite have constructed this bunker under the airport, and it's a place that they can easily retreat to during the end of the world. And then once, the apocalypse is over, they can come up from the bunker and restart the world once everyone else is killed off.
So is this supposed to happen before 2024? 94.
Maybe it happens in 2094. Yeah, maybe they're like, this was the plan all along. Look at this capstone. We have it ready.
I hope so. I'm due to die right before that time.
Right. I don't want to see it.
No.
I would love to hear about it in a podcast in my next life, but I don't want to witness it.
Definitely. I'd like to witness it safely, from the spirit realm.
Would you like to witness it safely from the bunker underneath the Denver airport?
If there's going to be lizard people there, I don't know.
That
sounds a little scary.
How about just the elite? You can meet Paris Hilton.
I would like to meet Paris Hilton.
Okay.
We can
Good to know.
We can be roommates.
Take notes, everyone. She's acting quite suspicious. There's another conspiracy theory that the Denver airport, since it's on 35,000 acres of land, that the airport land could be used as a FEMA concentration camp. There are rumors, or there's a tall tale, if you will. A construction worker who worked on the airport claimed that the construction took so long and went so over budget because they built 5 multi-level buildings underground. And this worker, along with others, also added that there were tunnels built under the airport.
Oh, shit.
There's no official interview or anything of that claim, though.
And why would that mean it's a concentration camp?
So, okay, one source in my research said that it's rumored that the barbed wire around the airport is facing in and not out, as to keep people in.
Are you going to cite your sources and it's all .blogspot.com?
It's all Reddit.
YouTube video, Reddit. Yeah.
See, okay, now it wasn't even in my notes, but I guess it got brought up. I guess I know things.
I guess so. If that's true, that's really scary.
I know. We don't know anything about the buildings, but there are tunnels underneath the airport for the rail system.
Yeah.
So,
and I'm sure with most airports, there's tunnels underneath for employees to quickly get around. And security.
Store stuff. Have a bunker for lizard people.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
The possibilities are endless.
If you have billions of dollars to spend, why
literally
not build a bunker for lizard
two
people?
extra $1 billion.
Yeah.
I could have thought of something much better than your stupid roof, okay?
They did think of something better, and it's a bunker for lizards.
That's true. Lizard people. Or should we say people who are lizards?
What if they storm the Denver airport and in the basement is just a bunch of terrariums filled with bearded dragons?
They're like, no wonder it was so hot up here from our radars. You're keeping all these lizards under their heat lamps.
They're really expensive defensive lizards, okay?
We don't believe in caged animals.
They're just running wild down there. There's a whole rainforest cafe prototype style jungle.
I love that so much. And that's why it's in the airport, so that they can smuggle exotic animals easily, without having to pass customs too much.
New conspiracy theory.
Add it to the list.
Yeah.
Okay, our next conspiracy is dark.
Oh.
It's dark. Some people think that the runways from above form a swastika. So from above, you can see 4 main runways that go out, and they all have 90-degree turns. You can go to the next slide, Alec. And it can look like a swastika if you really want it to.
Yeah, that seems like a stretch. Do we know if other airlines have similar layouts? Because I feel like that just makes sense that the planes would come straight out from the airport and then take a right turn for a runway.
Yeah, so this is like an ingenious design. Not all airports are like it, but it's special to Denver because, like you said, it allows for the planes to take off and land in the same direction. They don't have to do a bunch of like finagling and rearranging. It's just pretty much for ease of access.
Yeah.
So yeah, but that is one of the conspiracy theories.
Okay.
Also, there are 6 runways in total, not just like the 4 main branches that you would see on a swastika.
Yeah, it's a swastika with some extra limbs.
Okay, so I really like this next one because this one I think has some merit to it.
Really?
Really. As you pull into the Denver airport, you cannot miss this next thing. It is a massive 32 feet tall, 900 pounds statue of a blue Mustang pumping up on its hind legs.
Yeah, I know this one because I was watching like this body paint competition and they painted this on someone.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Its official title is Mustang, but it's been nicknamed Blucifer because its eyes glow red.
Oh, yeah, that is kind of creepy.
Yeah. They're little red light bulbs or light bulbs with red glass over them, whatever. They're in there, and the contrast between its red eyes and the blue skin is just a little unnerving.
Yeah. I also didn't know it was 30 feet tall.
It's fucking
That's
huge.
huge.
Yeah, I thought that it was like 10 feet
Yeah,
tall.
that's what I thought.
It's massive.
Dang.
And it's actually a boy. We know that because he has a huge cock.
He does.
And he's very veiny, not just on his male parts,
Yeah.
like all over.
Also,
he's
his
pulsing.
cock doesn't really look like I'm not going to go there. Never mind.
Okay.
I have a question. So the image we're looking at, it looks like a bronze statue. Did you say it's projected on there? The blue?
No, it's painted.
Doesn't it look almost illuminated, like there's a projector on it?
I think there are lights at the bottom of
yeah,
it.
it looks like light shining onto a painted.
Okay, yeah. It just looks I couldn't wrap my head around like if that was paint or not. I don't know why.
Oh, yeah.
Is he veiny? Why are there like red veins painted all over it?
That's a good question. I don't know. He's veiny. He's like amped up. Is there a name for it when horses like jump up on their hind
rearing.
leg? He's rearing. Yeah. Kind of scary. Conspiracies swirl around him thanks to his red eyes. Some people believe that Blucifer represents the 4th horseman of the apocalypse from the book of Revelations. And the 4th horseman represents death. And that kind of checks out because the statue's creator tragically died when they were installing Blucifer, and Blucifer fell on him and severed an artery in his leg.
Oh my God.
Died. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So he's cursed.
He is cursed.
100%.
He definitely looks cursed. Like, you guys, it's a blue horse with red veins painted all over it.
And red glowing eyes.
Yeah.
I found the words I was trying to say. It looks like a Star Wars hologram
Yeah.
with bronze sticking out of parts of it.
Bronze? Where are you seeing bronze?
Or brass.
It looks like it's painted gray.
You can look at pictures in the daylight too.
Yeah, it looks
It
like
might
it
give
looks
you a
like his
better-
mane, tail, and dick are colored gray.
You don't see any of that golden shimmer?
No. I see like light reflecting off of gray.
Interesting.
It's an illusion.
This is the dress, the yellow blue dress.
Yeah, or the
Yeah.
Vans.
Yeah,
The blue or
whoa.
pink.
Forgot about that.
Oh, so does he not have those veins? Maybe. He
does.
does.
Oh,
Ew.
good.
He
God.
is really scary.
Yeah.
It looks terrible in the
Yeah.
daylight.
And look
And
how
it doesn't look
skinny
like
he
a real
is.
horse. Yeah, he's so skinny.
What
Ew,
the fuck?
Why?
Oh, this is
That is
weird.
terrifying. And horses don't have anything to do with Denver, right? I guess they have
mean,
wild horses.
horses,
Yeah.
yeah.
So for the listeners, we were looking at a nighttime image, and it was kind of obviously there was some stuff up for interpretation, but the daytime image looks horrifying.
Yeah, that is terrible.
Yeah, I probably picked the most friendly image I possibly could have, but I wanted you guys to see his glowing red eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's scary.
Go to our
Yeah.
Instagram to see all these pics.
Oh my God.
Lucifer is the perfect
And he's
nickname.
also just out in a field. There's nothing around this statue.
Literally, that's how Denver Airport is. There is nothing around. It is an hour from the actual city
Yeah.
of Denver, which is also people are like, why does it need so much land? What's underground? Are there tunnels to other cities?
Other cities.
Yeah, I guess there's some military base or something in a mountain an hour away. I didn't include that because it seemed like I just didn't. It was just a long shot, and it wasn't one of the most popular theories. So
Yeah.
I was like, meh. Out of all the conspiracy theories, I'm going to go with the most popular ones.
Yeah. Man, that is a crazy looking thing.
I know. That's
Gross.
Lucifer. And it doesn't stop there. Denver Airport is full of mysterious and weird art. One of it being gargoyles all over. And people were initially
God.
freaked out by gargoyles.
Yeah. I just turned my head and there's gargoyle eyes blown up on the computer.
Yeah, we'll get to that in just a second. So people were freaked out, but then people are like, no, gargoyles are normal. They're meant to protect buildings. Denver Airport has them all around their baggage claim area as a way to apparently protect the baggage from getting stolen or whatever.
Who made all these decisions? I bet it was just some weird
Somebody got
goth art enthusiast that was given too much power.
Well, the way they decide what goes into the actual airport is they have a group of community members come together and they get an input, and then it's finalized by the governor and state officials.
So they chose the horse and the gargoyles.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they even installed this talking gargoyle that interacts with guests in real time.
What the fuck?
So watch this video. It's great.
Oh no.
That's a little too close for comfort,
It's-
lady.
Face looks real.
What, you never seen a talking gargoyle before? Welcome to Illuminati headquarters. I mean, Denver International Airport.
Yeah. It looks animated.
Yeah, it's very animated.
And it moves they must have someone in there attached with wires and stuff to his face.
You think? There's no one in there.
How else? Not in the gargoyle, but somebody controlling it.
Oh, it's because of the conspiracy. Look at me, I'm a little know-it-all. Will you get back over here? I got a question about this conspiracy. Did you have to buy an
Oh,
extra
in the
spare hat,
airport.
sir?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sir, are you stealing a desk?
Oh
Sir,
my
you have
god.
resting,
Okay.
confused face.
That's pretty cool. Also, I'd love to be the comedian they pay to just sit in a room and voice the gargoyle all day.
Me too. I think it would be a lot funnier if nobody knew my identity.
Oh, you would be funnier if no one knew your identity?
Yeah, I'd be
Yeah.
more free flowing, unafraid of repercussions.
I mean, we're behind a mic right now. You could start
Okay,
being funny for once.
Our
Just kidding.
our name is out there. Our my face is the face of this podcast.
What if we made our cover art your face?
Oh my god, it
Zoomed
better
way
be one of
in.
the really ugly ones of me.
Like what?
Just ones
We
where
don't have
I'm not
that.
ready. No, all the time there are pictures where I'm making funny faces. Not on purpose though. I think that'd be more eye catching.
Yeah, definitely more
our
eye
logo.
catching. Maybe
Yeah.
we should change our logo. Get
We
some more interest.
Let's hire a designer to cartoonize a face.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So it's not just my face.
No,
it's
but the point is, it would be your face.
but cartoon form,
No,
like a Snapchat
no,
filter.
that's already been done. Already been done.
Okay, fine. Give me several pictures and we will make it happen.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway. So they have these creepy gargoyles. They're obviously like poking fun at the conspiracy theories. But these next ones, there are some murals by Leo Tanguma. And the first one is called In Peace and Harmony with Nature. And the murals we're about to discuss each have two parts to them. So can you tell me more about like what you're seeing in the first part of this one?
Yeah, it looks like it's a play on the Last Supper, but it has, I think it's like indigenous, maybe like, I don't know, some kind of indigenous people to maybe South America. And then there's like white people on the edge. And then there's like all this nature around them. But in the background, there's a city and the forest is burning. And they also have a lot of animals. Some of the animals are encased in glass. And then it looks like there's a dead leopard and a dead sea turtle on the table. And then underneath, it looks like, I don't know, like a Jesus figure, but she's an indigenous woman. And she has her eyes closed. And then next to her is like a little like Dutch girl laying in a coffin dead. There's a lot happening here.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty much. So in the foreground, yeah, there's actually 3 people in coffins. There's one to the left too. So there's 3 coffins.
I don't even see the other one.
The
Right
bar's
here?
kind of, yeah.
Okay.
There are multiple dead animals you pointed out. The tortoise, the leopard, there's a bison who's been like taxidermied. And yeah, there are these extinct animals in glass cases and their children, like the emotion on their face is like fear and dread. And some of them are carrying these animals that are extinct in glass cases. And in the background, it's this huge raging forest fire. And it's just eating up the forest. So conspiracy theorists believe that this depicts what is to come. This is, like you said, kind of Last Supper-esque, and it's the end. Kind of a weird thing to be in an airport.
Yeah, it is weird for an airport, for sure.
Let's look at the second part.
Okay.
So the second half is a much happier scene.
Yeah, now it's a party, and there's like some kind of like rainbow tree of life growing out of the middle that everyone is smiling at. And then like around it is like these beautiful nature scenes, and the animals are back alive. And everyone looks like they're having a great time. There's wolves.
Right. They're all running around, having a great time. Animals are alive and well. There's no fire, which is a huge improvement.
Huge improvement.
Denver's airport website says that the first part of the mural shows children displaying great sadness over the destruction and extinction of life. And the second part that we're looking at now depicts humanity coming together to rehabilitate and celebrate nature. Some conspiracy theorists believe this scene could be reversed, though, and show now, which is the happy scene, and then, which would be the end of the world scene.
Yeah, but were we ever all like happy, harmonious together? Like it depict? No.
I saw a meme the other day that was like talking about how people are like, just take away the guns, that we'll have less deaths, which like I believe in gun control. Let me make that clear. But also, and then it showed like a picture of someone like stabbing another person with this huge sword from the top of a horse.
Yeah, things have never been good.
Right.
And things definitely look much more like the before picture.
That's like literally how it is now. So maybe we're gearing up for the lizard people to use their underground bunker.
I mean, or maybe the lizard people are going to save us.
You think they would?
I don't know anything about lizard people. I actually started a night classy research where I was like, I'm going to research lizard people today and do a lesson on it. And then I didn't get very far because I was like, I can't cite these sources.
Was it just like completely ridiculous stuff?
I don't know. I really didn't get very far. I think I started reading an article and I was like, not today.
I put a note down here. It says note lizard people because I was like, you guys should do that.
Yeah, I tried. I started. Someday I'll go back to it.
I remember watching a YouTube video, I think like a Shane Dawson YouTube video.
God.
I know. But I was young and he did something on lizard people. And by the end of it, I was like, oh my God, there are lizard people. And then I was like, Wait, God, get
oh my
out.
God. YouTube is so dangerous. I started a topic today because I saw it on, not today, last week, because I saw it on TikTok, and the TikTok made it seem like it was real. And then I looked it up and it was a fucking creepypasta.
Oh,
And like,
God, I hate that.
It's just such bullshit because there are kids. I mean, it fooled me for a second. I was like, this sounds like it might be a cool, like at least a conspiracy theory, but it wasn't even a conspiracy theory. It was like a literal creepypasta.
You wouldn't be the first one to be fooled by something like that.
What was it? Is it worth sharing?
It was the project of Abigail West or something, like basically like an Area 51 conspiracy where this girl was experimented on, but it's a creepypasta. It's not. As far as I know, I tried to do research, but every article was in Spanish. So I was having to like Google translate these articles, and the only things in English were like a creepypasta.
That's tough.
Yeah.
So yeah, some people think that the scenes could be reversed or that the murals depict alternate realities of the same scene. The second mural, though, is a bit more dark. It's called Children of the World Dream of Peace. Let's take a look.
Oh no. Okay. So there's like a line of like weeping women holding possibly dead babies, and they're wearing like rags and scarves over their heads. And then there's like children sleeping on bricks in a ditch. And then there's like a military man holding, for one, he has a gas mask on. We can't see his face. And he's holding like a giant like bayonet in one hand, and then a sword, like a machete in the other, stabbing like a peace dove. And there's a rainbow. Then there's like ruins of a city.
Yeah, it's pretty dark.
Yeah.
Conspiracy theorists think that this soldier could be a Nazi soldier. And if you notice in the bottom right corner, there's a piece of paper.
Yeah.
And on it, there's a poem. This is a real poem written by a 14-year-old boy, Hama Hirschenberg, who died in Auschwitz. And the poem reads, "I was once a little child who longed for other worlds, but I am no more a child, for I have known fear. I have learned to hate how tragic then is youth, which lives with enemies with gallows ropes. Yet I still believe I only sleep today, that I'll wake up a child again and start to laugh and play."
Wow, that is very depressing.
Extremely. And it's like, what if you got off your flight? You're like, I'm going to Denver. I'm going to have some edibles. And you see this mural.
That's very intense.
It's not welcoming at all.
No.
Like it's not a fun mural. So that's
do airports usually have fun murals? I've never seen one.
Not that they have fun murals, but they don't have like
super depressing.
Yeah, like
does
soldiers.
Denver have like a Holocaust museum or something?
I'm not sure.
Is there any reason, or like a bit large Jewish population?
The artist who did this, Leo Tanguma, I believe his name is. From what I read and from what I understand, a lot of his art depicts coming together, multicultural celebrations and things of the sorts, and kind of picking apart what he sees to be like divides and like wars with the world.
That makes sense for an airport. I guess like it's an international airport.
Yeah, it is.
Like
it is.
Bringing people together. Sometimes that involves some tragedy.
You go on a field trip to the airport and they're like, if you don't learn history, this is what you'll get. And you get the freaking soldier stabbing the dove.
Yeah, it's an odd reminder for an airport. But like if that's what this guy is known for, it would make sense for them just to buy a bunch of his art, you know? Just put it up.
Yeah. So it also makes for a great conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
So all the conspiracy theorists out there are like, oh my gosh, this is the New World Order. They're going to kill us.
But it doesn't make the New World Order look good. Like it's not glorifying it in any way. It's just
I don't think they want to be glorified. I think if this was real, it seems like they would want to be feared.
Yeah. It definitely like evokes fear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's look at the second part.
Okay. So it's all the people bringing down the New World Order. There's like the guy The soldier is like crumpled on the ground. He looks like he's a broken statue. The doves are sitting on him. And then like the people of the world are like celebrating all around this.
Yeah, it's a super happy scene. In the first one, there was this rainbow that was fading away. Like it looked like it was getting sucked up by a vacuum. But the rainbow is bright and it overarches this entire scene of people from, I'm guessing, just multiple different cultures and backgrounds and ethnicities coming together, and they're all happy and cheery. And like you said, now there's 2 doves and they're both resting on top of this fallen soldier. It's a very happy scene. So we get some explanation for this mural from Tanguma in an interview. He was claiming that it depicts a biblical lesson from Isaiah and Michael, and that would be that it's possible for nations of the world to stop war by joining together. And he goes on to explain that the children are dreaming of peace in a world filled with war. So this kind of seems to be like the dreamland dystopia from the first one we saw.
Okay. See, like when you couple it with this image, it makes sense to be in an airport, at least a little bit.
Yeah. But if you're a conspiracy theorist, like just like if you're looking for a fucking swastika in the runways, then you're only going to focus on the darker side.
Absolutely. And like, I'm not saying it's not weird, and I understand why people are like reading into this.
Yeah.
But sometimes art is weird.
Yeah. And I think it needs to be. Art should provoke conversations just like this. It should make you feel some type of way.
Yeah, and I'd way rather see this at an airport than like advertisements for like fucking cologne.
Definitely. Me too. So Denver, keep up the good work. One cool note about this piece of art, there are 9 faces at the top of this mural, and you'll notice they look a little bit more real. Like all of these are really stylized from like, you know, we could distinctly tell that there was a Dutch girl in one of them, but these are all real people. These 9 faces at the top, they're in 90s apparel, and they're real people who died from gang violence in Colorado at the time. So the artist included them in this mural.
That's nice.
For peace. Yeah. Okay. We have just a little bit more to go. So, of course, I had to go to Reddit to see what I could find on Denver's airport conspiracy theories. And from Reddit user Elo Sopardo, the caption is, "Just seen a satanic symbol in the Denver airport." And there's this ad. You can go to the next one. It's Garth Brooks, and it reads, "When there's only one race, and that's mankind, ... we shall be free."
What?
So people are thinking that this is some like, you know, there's only one race and like we don't see color type of deal.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. I mean, it's Garth Brooks.
Exactly.
Oh my God. Love is in you. Pass it on.
It sounds like people are promoting STDs.
It does.
So that was just a funny thing that I saw. But this second one is a little bit chilling. This next one was from Reddit. The user Nick Hinton 333 posted a video from last year when they were in Denver airport and they were testing alarms. He said that they were going off for tornadoes, for shooters, all the things. And they all sounded normal except for one of them. So here's the video that he got.
The immediate threat of the scarier.
What? What did it say?
It sounds like a bunch of gibberish, but
Yeah.
the internet figured out, they cracked the code. When you play it at double the speed, it becomes clear that it's saying the immediate threat remains aerial.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, I hate it.
Me too. Super creepy. The immediate threat remains aerial, aka UFO, aka aliens.
Or like an airplane with like a person on it that needs to be arrested is landing. Maybe,
Yeah,
and like they're still in the air.
Who knows? who knows why it sounded so distorted.
Yeah, that sounded really scary.
Because it played several times, and that's how this user got the video, because he knew when to start recording.
If I were at an airport and that was happening, I'd leave. Like, I'm never going home. Yeah.
I'm going home. I'll walk home.
Right. I'm driving to the next airport and leaving from there.
The immediate threat remains aerial, and I am immediately getting out of here.
Yeah. God, that's fucked up. I
know. And what's so funny, the Denver airport has a lot of fun with these conspiracy theories. You can see a lot of different advertisements around the airport. You can go to the next slide. There are ones with literally UFOs on them, aliens, lizard people, with captions like, cool new areas to hang out, or Area 52. Or one with the alien that says, yes, Den's got some secrets.
I like that the lizard person is like an iguana wearing a white button-up shirt.
He's like, what?
Yeah, that's great.
There's one with Lucifer. It says, are we creating the world's greatest airport or preparing for the end of the world? And its eyes are like lasers.
You know, if you make a joke about yourself, people are less likely to take it seriously and repeat it.
Exactly. I think they're hiding in plain sight. I think it's a tactic.
To me. Makes sense.
Well, that is for you all to decide. Is it true? Is it not true? Maybe a little bit of both.
I'm fully ready to accept the reality of lizard people.
It sounds like you are.
I would not need very much convincing.
I think that for me, it's like, I think that lizard people exist, but not that they're literally lizard people. I think.
Did you just say that you think lizard people do exist?
But not in the way that we think that they could exist. I think that lizard people probably look like the super wealthy elite that are living this insane life that is like almost offensive to laymen, and that it's almost unbelievable to the rest of us. So no, they're not actually lizards, but I think that it could be like
it's a metaphor.
Yeah.
Okay. But they're still real people.
Yeah, they're humans.
Okay. So you're saying that, yes, it's true that the super wealthy exist and we don't understand the way they live.
I guess so, but to me, it felt like a lot more than that.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that we don't have to have an intervention.
No, I feel fine. Everything's fine. I don't believe in this. If anything, this lesson has made me, it has made me not so much believe or like question conspiracy theories around Denver's airport. I think
it has made you, researching has made you not believe in it?
Yeah, like for a little while, I was like, maybe there could be like something underground or like something mysterious about it, like maybe a military base or something like that.
Yeah.
But I think that there are a lot of really easy, simple solutions, but conspiracies tickle the mind and they're a lot of fun.
It's fun. And I feel kind of bad because I feel like we're both very like skeptical, like straight-laced kind of people. Like some podcasts like lean into it and like allow the mystery to kind of exist. Whereas like us at every turn, we're like, this is stupid because.
Right.
So I'm sorry, guys.
It's like a candle and we're putting the cap on it like,
wrong.
Exactly. But it is what it is. So let me cite my sources and we'll be on our way. Okay. So there was an article at flydenver.com called Den Overview. There was an Out There Colorado article called What's Up with the Creepy Apocalyptic Paintings in Denver International Airport. That is a super long title. A BuzzFeed article called 8 Conspiracy Theories About the Denver Airport That Will Freak You Out. A Mountain Weekly article. And the Chatty Gargle at Denver International Airport video on YouTube. And lastly, the Thrillist article, How the Denver Airport Became an Icon of the Illuminati by Colin St. John. That is my lesson.
Awesome. No blog spots.
No blog spots today. Check back next week.
Impressive. All right. Well, thank you, Hayley, for that lesson. Let's hear a word from our sponsor, and we'll be right back. So we actually want to take this opportunity to hype ourselves up this week because we have some freaking cool merch and we want you guys to buy it.
Oh, yes, we do. Okay, I think one of my favorites and definite go-tos during the cold weather is it's not a crew neck, is it? What's it called? It's a crew neck. Okay, I don't know the names of things, but it's very cool. Our crew neck, it is it says Night Classy University, and it looks like an actual college merch thing. I'm quite clumsy, let me say that. I spill things on it. I wash it literally every day because I wear it every day and spill something on it.
Oh my gosh, same. It's tragic to me when it's in the hamper.
I know.
It's truly become my lifeblood and my everything. Because I don't know if you guys know this, but Champion is cool. The brand, and
yes,
that is the brand of that sweatshirt, and it is super soft and gray and looks collegiate, but then it's a little wink nudge because it's just our podcast. People will think you went to college, and you don't have to have gone to college. You went to our college, and you can wear our cool sweatshirt. It is cool. And we have t-shirts.
Ooh, I just thought of a new catchphrase. Night Classy is all the things that you should have learned in college but didn't.
Oh,
okay. Well, anyway, that's not on the t-shirt or the crew neck.
if I paid college level money to learn what we talk about, I would be very upset.
I'd be glad.
That's true.
I feel like I would be a much more well-rounded person.
That's true. As a history major, I took some pretty fucking stupid classes in college. So
okay, I took a class all on Les Mis. I mean, it wasn't a stupid class, but it definitely didn't help me in my day-to-day life or psych degree.
No, I took a class on dinosaurs. We're gonna keep going. We don't need to list all our college classes. Bottom line is, we got some cute merch. We have t-shirts. We have sweatshirts. We still have Hose for Science shirt. We have stickers. New stickers are coming soon. So check it out. You can click on our link. You can go to parasaur.co, and all our merch is there, or any of the links in any of our bios, and check it out.
Please do. You're gonna look fresh.
Yes. So I have a little bit of an online conspiracy theory today as well.
Wow, double down.
I know. It's not like a true conspiracy theory, but it's got some of those elements. So there's this belief on the internet. It seems like this widespread kind of mass hysteria around a certain toy. People online claim that they have one of these and it's possessed, or it was possessed as when they were a child, and it speaks in a demon voice. And there's just all of these people on Reddit that think this, and people just on online forums. I've heard about this on other podcasts. Do you know what toy I'm talking about, or do you have any guesses?
At first I was gonna guess pregnant Barbie, but I don't think it's pregnant Barbie.
I have never heard of pregnant Barbie, but that sounds like it would be possessed.
It does. It does. Pregnant Barbie is pregnant Barbie. She has a stomach that's magnetic, and there's a little baby inside of it.
That is the worst.
I really liked it as a kid. It helped me learn things.
That's true. I guess. I mean, it can't be a bad thing. It's good that
it's how
good
life
representation, but also kind of weird. Okay, well, it's not pregnant Barbie.
I'm not sure. At first, I thought maybe an Ouija board.
No, not a Ouija board.
It talks.
Yes.
A doll of some sort. Oh,
it's a Furby.
Oh,
you know what Furbies are.
Yeah, those are, they're big eyes.
Yeah, big eyes, little guys. So I just kind of got interested in Furbies, and so I did some research, and so here we go. Furbies are a toy, and they were first released in 1998. If you're a sweet baby angel who hasn't been in this world for very long, I learned today we have some underage listeners. That's fun. They are these little furry robotic animals, and they kind of look like a cross between a hamster and an owl. They also kind of look like a gremlin.
Got a little beak. I thought that they were an 80s thing. I did not think they came out in the 90s.
Yeah, late 90s.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Pretty recent. They were the first ever successful attempt to sell domestically aimed robots. So this was the first robotic toy.
Whoa. Do you remember when McDonald's gave out their robotic, but it was just what am I thinking of? I'm sorry. Never mind.
I don't
Keep
know
going.
what you're
Keep going.
I remember when Jurassic Park came out and McDonald's, or not Jurassic Park, the movie Dinosaurs, and they gave out the dinosaur puppets.
Oh,
That was my favorite. Anyway, the Furbies have an entire backstory behind them. So according to the lore, Furbies are from an island where they have lived from like long before humans. Furbies call it Alomele, which translates into cloud hug. Furbyland isn't that cute?
That is so cute.
Furbyland is hundreds of thousands of years old, and it's located over a calm blue ocean dotted with mystical sandy white islands. Furbies left Furbyland looking for a creature they could bond with, and that's how they found us.
Wow, I feel so bad for them. They
Me
left
too.
cloud hug for Earth.
I know, and people are fucking mean to their Furbies.
Yikes.
We'll get into it. Furbies are animatronic. They can move their faces to create different expressions and emotions. They have speaking capabilities. They can learn. When you first purchase your Furby, it starts out only speaking a made-up language called Furbish. Then over time, it starts learning English words. And
Aww, like a little sim.
yeah, it's just like a sim, but they learn. And this process is kind of meant to resemble the process of learning English. So if you imagine you have a little alien pet, it's going to start learning English. This was the first time the world had ever seen a toy like this. It's a robotic pet, and this was wildly successful. People loved this shit. Over 40 million were sold within the first 3 years of production.
Wait, is 40 million a lot? I don't
Yes.
know. It ends in illion.
It's not a lot if you're trying to build an airport, but it is a lot if you're selling a toy.
Okay, I'm straight on it now.
Okay, good. Its speaking capabilities were translated into 24 different languages. They were produced on and off with various updates until the most recent Furby was released in 2018. The toy was originally designed by Dave Hampton and Caleb Chung over about a 9-month period. So Dave Hampton grew up messing around with electronics. In 1970, he enlisted in the Navy so that he could study electronics, and he specialized in aviation electronics. After the Navy, he got a job working for Mattel, and there he met Caleb Chung. Chung did not have any background in electronics. He was actually from a low-income family, and so because of that, he moved around a lot. He had kind of a rough upbringing, but he says that this helped him so that he didn't grow up with boundaries in his thinking. He was really good at thinking outside the box. So together with Dave Hampton's technical skill and Chung's imagination, they were able to create one of the most iconic toys of all time. They were inspired to do so because of the Tamagotchi.
Oh, I remember Tamagotchi.
Yeah, Tamagotchis were so fun. And they loved the Tamagotchi, but they felt that the Tamagotchi had one big problem, which is that you couldn't pet it.
Yeah, there was a barrier, and that would be that it was in a little computer.
Yeah. It wasn't cute. It wasn't furry. It
Right.
Just, it was
If you
kinda
forgot
flat.
about it, it didn't die.
Yeah. But they wanted to create a robotic pet that you could touch and hold and that would respond to your touch. And they did. They created the Furby. Originally, they called it the Fur Ball. And they were trying to do this. After failing a couple times to license this product, they brought it to another toy maker named Richard C. Levy. Levy had a background in film, cinematography, and marketing. So he was a really good addition to the team in helping animate this creature and sell it to toy companies. Levy brought it to Tiger Electronics, and they ended up buying it. Furby then, in 1998, made its first debut at the American International Toy Fair at FAO Schwartz Toy Store. And by the end of the week, the store had a back order of 35,000 Furbies.
What?
Yeah,
That's a lot of Furbies.
in 1 week.
That's like Memphis grocery stores, the back order for water right now.
Right. But like more, like people wanted Furbies more than they wanted water. These things were a big fucking deal. Furbies originally retailed for $35, but could be resold for about $100 to $300 depending on the rarity of the model. Because there were all different colors, all different styles, and if you had a rare one, you could resell it pretty much instantly. Furbies were re-released in 2005 and then again in 2012. They've gone through multiple stages of re-releases, all with new updates. Furbies were mainly originally like supposed to be marketed toward girls, but the manufacturer wanted boys to also buy them. Like, why not expand a little bit?
Why wouldn't boys like something that it can cuddle and talk to and have a friend? Like,
I'm sure they would, but like... because of our gender norms.
Misogyny.
Yeah, boys were scared to want a stuffed animal, essentially. So the way they made it like more appealing to boys was that Furby can burp and fart.
Okay. I mean, yes. Art mimics life.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's okay if I have a stuffed animal as long as it can burp and fart.
As a young man who got a Furby, I will say that is not why I bought it.
Okay.
You're different, though.
Yeah, I'm also really jealous that you had a Furby.
Yeah, mine looked like this one on the screen here.
Aw, that's an ugly one.
It was sort of like giraffe print.
Yeah, it's ugly.
yes,
I would
yeah.
have wanted a colored one.
Yeah, I like the polka dot one.
Yeah, I like anything that's not an ugly turd Furby.
What are you talking
Brown.
about? There were like organic colored, like dogs and cats for the first time. For the first part, I
Really?
thought.
I thought they came out with colors straight away.
Maybe they did.
Okay, it says in 2012 they were re-released with 16 colors. So maybe they didn't have colors till 2012. I don't know. I didn't come across that in my research.
They looked organic like this when I was a
Okay.
kid.
See?
This is
Alec could be teaching this lesson. He's a 90s baby.
right. Oh, look at that tie-dye one. This could be the perfect pet for, parents who don't want their kids to have pets.
Oh, yeah. I'd way rather have my kid get a Furby than a hamster.
Oh, definitely. I never want to smell hamster cage ever again in my life.
Abso-fucking-lutely not. No. Like I said, there have been a lot of different types of Furbies released. Some of that includes Wizard Furby, Santa Furby, Jester Furby, President Furby, Kid Cuisine Furby, High C Furby, and in 2015, Hasbro released an $80 Star Wars Furby named Furbaka.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
They should release like adult themed Furby, like
What do you mean?
stoner Furby, and like
Oh my God. That would
don't know
do
what
really
else.
well.
Yeah. I have no other ideas other than
Stoner
Furby.
Stoner would love a Furby. I'd like a drunk Furby.
Yeah.
One that like you I just acts drunk and I can talk to it when I come home drunk.
Yeah. Because that's what a drunk person really needs is someone
Right.
else who's drunk to talk to them.
I know. I need like a like the mom drunk kind of a Furby. Like I need a Furby that'll hold my hair and put me to bed.
It seems like it would be able to do that.
Yeah. She needs to tell me that I need to adjust my shirt.
Your bra strap is hanging out.
Yes. Exactly. Furbies were initially so popular because of their intelligence. Original Furbies had a simple electronic motor system of gears that could open and close their eyes and mouth. They could raise their ears and they could kind of like lift themselves off the ground, like kind of like pop up a little bit. They can also respond to light, movement, and touch.
Wow. Is that what that thing is on their forehead?
The forehead is actually an infrared port, and they use that to communicate with each other. So if
What?
you set two Furbies across from each other, they'll talk to each other and have conversations.
Ooh, creepy. This is like the original Alexa.
Kind of. Yeah. And as I said earlier, they start by speaking only Furbish and then learn English as they grow. And the Furbish language does actually translate to English. It's not just gibberish. There's, of course, not really like any grammar in this language. It's just kind of like words and phrases that directly translate. Some of this includes no, which means dabu. Yes is ite. What's up is duutai. Thank you is dakaoni. Sad is Bunulu. Beautiful is Ika. Friend Nula. Party Danola. Danola. Yeah, so like there's just kind of like simple translations. Hasbro, who now owns Furby, has a list of what I counted to be about 134 Furbish words and phrases that they can say. And after a while, your Furby will start speaking English, but they don't actually learn to speak English. They're actually pre-programmed to gradually start speaking more and more English as you play with them. So, for example, your Furby might say hello the 12th time it's turned on. But because they slowly, like, quote unquote, learn English, there was this really common misconception, especially when Furbies first came out, when people didn't really understand robotic toys, that they thought Furbies were really learning, and they were learning to speak by recording and repeating the things they hear.
I would definitely think that.
Absolutely.
Especially, like, I feel like you couldn't just go to the internet and Google something like that.
Right, you couldn't. And so this led to kind of a widespread panic. And before I get into that, I do want to say that you can train your Furby to say certain words. And with the older Furbies, like now you can do it with an app or whatever. But like with the early Furbies, you could do that by like if they said a word that you wanted them to say, you could pet them. And then it was kind of like a positive reinforcement based system. So they could be taught in that way, but they were not listening to you, and they could not like respond to you or repeat what you said.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear what it sounds like?
Yeah.
This is from 1998.
I watched this video. Whoa.
You tickle me.
Wow. Its eyes blinking and mouth moving is so loud. You can really hear the gears.
You can hear the gears. And so like the early ones I don't think were that impressive. They were pretty primitive, but at the time it was crazy to people. And like I said, people started panicking because Furby was listening to them. In 1998, the National Security Agency, the NSA, banned Furbies from their premises due to security concerns.
Oh my God, that's hysterical.
Yeah, and this really fueled the fire. A classified letter was sent out to NSA employees that said because Furbies could speak 200 words and could repeat anything they heard, officials were really worried that if you had a Furby at the NSA and then brought it home, they could repeat classified information. And therefore, you were not allowed to have a Furby on the premises. Anyone at the NSA who saw a Furby on the property was instructed to, quote, contact their staff security office for guidance.
AKA shoot it immediately.
Pretty much. Like, I'm sure they would have been destroyed.
Who brings a Furby to the NSA?
I mean, it was like a thing to have Beanie Babies on your desk. You might just have a Furby on your desk, you know?
Man, the 90s were weird.
Really weird. They also thought that because Furbies were manufactured in China, U.S. officials worried that there might be like a bugging device in them designed to eavesdrop and steal secrets from the United States.
Okay.
The freaking Pentagon and Norfolk Naval Shipyard banned Furbies as well. And it was not just U.S. officials who were scared of Furbies. From their launch, articles were starting to come out that Furbies looked creepy or sinister looking, and that just also fueled this panic.
It sounds like it's rightfully so. Because if you don't have answers to these questions, and then like official services like the NSA and other governments are coming in and they're like, we can't do the Furby business.
Absolutely. And then there's all that stuff. Like there are toys on the market that do listen and like people can hack into and say all kinds of stuff. I forget what toy it was, but like that's happened before. But this was like the first instance where people were like, this is a possibility and I'm scared.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Okay. That is scary.
Yeah. And so, of course, parents started freaking out for all kinds of reasons. Some parents thought that their child's Furby was teaching them how to swear. There's this radio producer for the Wall Street Journal who says he kept getting calls from parents claiming that their children were picking up foul language from their Furby who was repeating it from the parents.
Please, kids do not need a Furby to teach them foul language. If anything, take a look in the mirror.
Right. The parents, the thing is, the parents thought that the Furby was learning foul language from them, and then the kids are repeating it from the Furby. So it's like, nah, that's not adding up.
You're all a bunch of potty mouths.
Right. Also, like, if you swore in front of your kid and they repeated it, it'd be pretty easy to just like blame it on the Furby, you know? Like,
Yeah, it
seems
makes
like a
you look
scapegoat.
better.
Yeah.
You're like, that wasn't me having an affair with the neighbor. That was Furby.
Right.
He just becomes the scapegoat.
Yeah, truly. This got to be such a problem that in 2000, a Walmart in Pennsylvania removed Furbies from their store because they got so many customer complaints that it was teaching their children to swear.
Wow, what a roller coaster. It goes from a wait list of 35,000 people in one store to being exiled from a Walmart.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Totally.
Rough.
And like, as we know, like the Furby does not repeat stuff. So this is not true. What we think was happening, maybe other than parents like using it as an excuse, was that some Furbish words maybe sounded like swear words, and then a kid repeats it and it sounds like a swear word. The word for hug me in Furbish was cited, which is dumo, which maybe sounds like damn.
What
I
if
don't
it
know.
was fug me?
That would make more sense. But dumo, I was trying to think about what that would sound like. I guess
Maybe
damn.
dumb hoe.
Dumb hoe. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Dumo, dumb hoe. Yeah.
I could make anything into a swear.
I was going to say, it's like an ink blot test. It's like, what do you think it says? You're like, dumb hoe. Hurt people, hurt people.
We're looking in words on today's lesson.
Just use Furby as an excuse. So this was the first robotic toy, as we've said over and over again. And because of this, people really overestimated Furby's technology. Robert Shipman,
Robert Shipman. Or in English, Robert Shipman.
I was just saying his name in Furbish. Robert Schiffman. Mr. Schiffman, the president of Tiger Electronics. What?
Mr. Schiffman.
Mr. Stiffman.
I like how you guys are like, guys like farts and burps, and you're like dying at the name Shipman.
We're just trying to take the gender out of farts and burps.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We're reclaiming farts and burps.
No, we're not. I fucking hate potty humor.
You're reclaiming
That's something
Roger
I-
Shipman.
Not funny. Robert Schiffman, who is the president of Tiger Electronics, reports being told by people that Furby has the technology to launch the space shuttle. Furby was banned from some hospital wards in Scotland. And
Why though?
I'm telling ya.
Oh, okay. I thought you were just going to move on.
No, I have 3 bullet points. about
Okay,
this.
I'm sorry.
Hospitals were worried that the electromagnetic waves from Furbies could interfere with hospital equipment.
That's a real fear.
No, it's not. And I didn't put this in my notes, but they were also banned from airplanes for the same reason.
When you don't know things, it's a real fear.
I
All
suppose.
QAnon people.
Right. But it's like that thing, like, you know how you're not supposed to be on your phone when the airplane is landing or taking off?
Yeah.
They would it would be like, put away all your devices and your Furbies before the airplane took off.
Oh, Furbies were like the OG Alexa and the cell phone
Yeah.
as far as entertainment goes.
Hospitals were also worried that Furby could control voice-activated hospital equipment because it might repeat things that nurses say, and this activate hospital equipment and possibly kill someone.
There's
by
voice
accident.
activated hospital equipment.
Apparently. I didn't know that,
Wow,
but I
that
guess.
seems dangerous.
Yeah, it doesn't seem great, especially if you're worried that a Furby could activate it.
Make the incision.
Oh God! Stop!
Conduct the vasectomy.
Dumb hoe.
Mr. Shipman, we don't know what to tell you.
And this belief became so widespread that the Emergency Care Research Institute and the Canadian government's health ministry carried out experiments where they tested this theory that Furbies could control voice-activated instruments. And they concluded that Furbies are, quote, very unlikely to affect the performance of medical equipment.
But not 100% unlikely.
Right, just very. And that was the Canadian government.
Just enough shadow of doubt. They're like, we're not 100% sure. Furbies could do it. Also, Yeti might be real.
Who knows? And maybe Furbies are made of Yeti fur. In the late 90s, rumors surfaced that Furbies were covered in actual dog and cat hair.
Oh my God, that's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. And it happened because someone created a fake Humane Society press release that said that Furby samples had tested positive for feline and canine DNA. And people didn't understand Photoshop at the time and thought that this was real. And a lot of media outlets and people were accusing Tiger Electronics of animal cruelty, so much so that the company had to release a statement explaining that the fur on Furbies is 100% acrylic.
You know what? It's cool to be the first at something, but at this point, it just seems like a real pain in the ass because they're just like at every turn.
Yeah, imagine making what you thought was a cute toy and then you're accused of all this crazy shit.
Yeah, cut to 2 years later, you're like in court, you have huge bags under your eyes, just trying to prove you're innocent.
Right. That it pretty much just was like a gauntlet for them. It was over and over again having to be like, no, like it's literally a toy. And like we're laughing at all this. It seems far-fetched, but with all the things that Furbies can do, it's kind of understandable why people were freaked out by them. They're made to mimic like human behaviors. They can develop different personalities. They can sense movement, which people weren't used to. Like you'd walk into a room and your Furby would like say hello, like pet me, I'm hungry, like whatever. It would talk to you when you walk into a room. That can be creepy. They also don't have an off switch, much like a living creature.
Ooh, are they battery powered?
Yeah, you can take the batteries out, but like it's kind of like having a pet. Like you never know when it's going to talk to you. It could be in the middle of the night, which can be scary. You can also, and I think this is on newer Furbies, but I found instructions on WikiHow on how to turn your Furby evil, which you can do. And this personality trait is called ranting. And what you do is you set your Furby in front of you, then you place your finger in Furby's mouth and press down on its tongue, and then wiggle your finger around in its mouth for 1 minute.
Wow.
Kinky.
What happens?
It thinks you're feeding it nonstop, and then it like will cry and complain, but you're not supposed to stop. And then you wait for your Furby to go crazy, and so it starts making weird noises, and its eyes turn white, and it'll start to shake and act quote unquote crazy.
Can we watch a video of that?
Do you want to
Just
pull
see
one
if I can
up?
find one.
I'm highly intrigued.
Just throwing up.
Why do I feel so bad for this inanimate thing?
This is a black Furby with glowing white eyes.
Evil laugh.
It's like there's other ones in the background talking too.
He's getting mad.
Oh no, his eyes are like flashing and now his eyes are closed.
Okay.
So there that was. And I think this is the 2018 version of Furby that came out that you can turn evil. And like we just watched, it'll start like being weird and it'll have like evil slanted eyes. And now it'll be very grumpy and it'll yell at you if you pet it. If you want it to be nice again, what you can do is you pet it a lot, talk to it, and play it music. And then it'll turn back into a nice Furby. The original Furbies, I don't think they could do this. They were pretty primitive. And then in 2012, a new Furby called the Furby Connect was released, and it had more abilities. This might have been the 2012 version because it has LCD eyes. It dances to music. You can put it asleep by putting a face mask on it or laying it on its back if it tells you it's sleepy. It has sensors all over its body, and its tummy is ticklish. There's also an app that you can use to teach it new sings. You can make it sing Kids Bop songs. You can teach it to react to videos. It can be taught new words and phrases, and the app has personality updates. They're actually pretty cool, and I sort of want one.
I do too.
So if Furbies are such a cool toy, why are people notoriously creeped out by them? Probably because it feels like they're alive. Like you said, while you were watching that video, you felt bad when he was tormenting the Furby. They're made to mimic a human-like presence. They'll also start talking randomly. Sometimes they say weird shit. And a lot of people, especially if you had them when you were a kid and you didn't fully understand that it was an inanimate object, like I thought my stuffed animals were real and had feelings until I was like 7.
They didn't do anything like this.
Yeah. So if you had something like this, imagine how as a kid you would think it was a real being. And so that's probably why so many people were terrified of them as a child and then have created these scenarios in their head that their Furby was possessed. I didn't include any like actual like haunted Furby or possession stories in here because I just kind of felt like they weren't true, quite frankly. But I do have a few stories that I pulled off Reddit just about like childhood trauma associated with their Furbies.
Good. Okay.
Yeah. And so my first one is from Redditor Kyle Gibson. He says, apparently if you drop a Furby from a high enough point, it makes a terrifying screeching sound until you reset the thing. I did not know this before I accidentally pushed it off my bed. The thing started, and what an 8-year-old thought was screaming out in pain. So then I started screaming and crying, thinking I killed it. Here's one from I Can Do a Cartwheel on Reddit. So when I was about, let's say 7 or 8, I had 2 Furbies, a mom Furby and a baby Furby. One day, my older brothers were fucking around with the baby Furby, throwing it up in the air over and over again until one of them eventually drops it. It ended up making some weird noises, closing its eyes, and never turning back on. The mom Furby apparently hears this, made the exact same noises, and then proceeds to die off as well. The mom Furby died of apparent sadness over the death of her child. I charged the batteries in both numerous times and they never came back to life. Anywho, Furby has a slightly traumatic experience for me.
Wow. I can't believe they programmed that.
I know. I don't know.
Or did they?
Did they? Yeah. Who knows if this is true, but it sounds like it's a newer Furby because they charged the batteries.
Yeah.
So maybe it could. This is from Redditor Burns Kid. Had 2 Furbies. They were buried in the bottom of the toy box. Sleeping in the dead of night, years after we got them, I heard a deep, slow voice groaning, "Feed me." Oh, no. And he says, "Oh, hell no." I screamed, ran to my parents' room, woke them both up, had them come in my room to get the monster away. They go digging around the room and we hear it again. "Feed me," it said. More screaming and crying.
I would be so upset as that parent.
Oh my God, I know. Me too. He says, finally, my dad pulls out a half-dead Furby from inside the toy box and goes to smash it with a hammer in the garage. Still had nightmares from that one years later.
Ew, what if it like came in from the garage all like fucked up and it was like, "Feed
Oh my
me,
God.
Red Rum."
Oh, there were some stories online that talk about like putting their Furby in a different room and then like it's outside their bedroom in the hallway saying shit and like, okay, but like it's a terrifying thought.
Yeah, it is.
I have one more and this one's my favorite. When I was 10, And the user has since deleted their account, so we don't know who it's from. But when it says, when I was 10, there was nothing I wanted more than a Furby for my birthday. I finally got one inside 7 boxes, each smaller than the last. I freaking loved that thing. I had it for about a week, and I was playing with it in my living room one day. Now, my mom had a bird, a ringneck dove. Nobody liked the bird because it was annoying and laughed at you when you stubbed your toe. The bird was also a humper. He humped ornaments off the shelves and pictures off the wall. He tried to hump people's heads and tried to hump my infant nephew's toys.
Oh.
But I digress. So I was playing with my Furby in the living room, trying to teach the thing how to talk, when my mother lets the bird out of his cage for some exercise. The bird stops humping the landscape picture on the wall and locks eyes on my Furby.
Oh no, not the Furby.
And then he dove for it. Not wanting to have my head humped, I ran, leaving my poor Furby on the floor. The bird found Furby and went to town.
Just the thought of what this looks like and what it sounds like. What it was like, oh, feed me, feed me.
Tickle me.
Blah, blah, blah. Daddy. Literally Sky Daddy, because it's a bird.
Wow.
Oh my God.
It continues. I ran to get my brother to save it, but it was too late. By the time we got there, the bird was on the shelf and my Furby was left alone. My mother went to pick up the Furby and held me back. He called for my mother, or my brother went to pick up the Furby and held me back. He called for my mother. My mother came in with paper towels and wiped the Furby off.
Ew, do birds, they do that?
They must.
Maybe that's not what all that white stuff is on our windshields.
Oh, God. They're just jizzing on our windshields. Gross. Ew. But hold on, listen to this. My mother came in with paper towels, wiped the Furby off, apologized, told me to never touch it again, and stuck it in the bird cage for later use.
What? Oh, no. Oh, why would she even wipe it off then?
I don't know, but isn't that the best story you've ever heard?
That's insane. What?
Oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah.
The Furby has like a cigarette in its mouth and its eyes like twitching.
She's like, don't worry, we're going to make you a new Furby.
What if like it got pregnant with a bird hybrid Furby?
It had
and it
wings.
like really traumatized you? Yeah. Oh my God.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And that's the end of my lesson. So my sources are Wikipedia, Hasbro.com, BBC.co.uk, CBSnews.com, Mental Floss, WikiHow, official KirbyFandom.com, Bustle.com, and Ranker.com.
Awesome lesson.
Thank you.
I'm now traumatized, so thank you for that.
Me too. You're welcome. So if you enjoyed this episode, please, 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 please go to Apple Podcasts, rate, review, and subscribe. Please subscribe. That is the best thing you can do. You can also recommend us to a friend, follow us on social media, and maybe think about joining our Patreon. Like we said, we got a special gift for those of you who get in before the 53rd episode, so get on it. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for your support. And 3, 2, 1, class dismissed.